So next is RHS part. We have to execute P conjunction Q. Observe here these two column. So 0, 0 output is 0. 0, 0 output is 0. Next 0, 1 output is here 0. 0, 1 output is 0. Next 1, 0 output also 0. 1, 0 output also 0. 1, 1 output is 1. 1, 1 output is 1. So P conjunction Q is over. Next we have to execute P conjunction R. So this column as well as this column. 0, 0 output is 0. 0, 1 once again 0. 0, 0 output is 0. 0, 1 once again output is 0. 1, 0 output is 0. 1, 1 output is 1. 1, 0 output is 0. 1, 1 output is 1. Next, these two columns once again we are going to disjunct. So once if you done all this, the RHS part is over. P conjunction Q whole disjunction P conjunction R. So these two columns we are going to disjunct. So 0, 0 output is 0. 0, 0 output is 0. Once again 0, 0 output is 0. Up to here it is 0 only. Once again 0, 1 output is 1 because in disjunction any one input belongs to true, definitely our output belongs to true only. 1, 0 output is 1. 1, 1 output is 1. You observe this truth table, RHS truth table, only last 3 rows are belongs to 1, remaining all rows belongs to 0. You come here. In LHS portion, this observe here, P conjunction whole Q disjunction R. Here 5 columns are belongs to, 5 rows are belongs to false, remaining 3 rows are belongs to true. In the sense both the true value LHS are as well as RHS true value both are same. That's why it is also satisfy the distributive laws. Fine. Before starting the problem, we have to see the negation part. So in the sense, if you want to put negation for any proposition, so P, if you put negation, negation P. P conjunction Q, if you put whole negation, what it happen? Negation P, disjunction, negation Q. And next P disjunction Q, if you put whole negation, so negation P, your disjunction is converted into conjunction, then negation Q. So if it comes P implies Q, what happen? P conjunction negation Q. So you should remember this one. Once you see the implies, if you put a negation to the whole, then you got P conjunction negation Q, because this is somewhat difference. So first we are going to solve first problem. Let X be a specified number. Write down the negation of the following condition he given. So if X is an integer, then X is a rational number. First you observe this is the statement he given. What you are going to do in the sense, write down the negation of the following conditional. In the sense, you should write the negation for this one. Then in the sense what implies. So remaining this portion, if X is an integer, you conclude this as a P, then in the sense implies X is a real number. So this one we can write it like this, P implies Q, because up to then we conclude it as a P. After then we conclude it as a Q. When then comes right, this portion we consider it as a implies. P implies Q, where P is equal to X is an integer, Q, X is a rational number. So in the sense what he told before, just a minute back we discussed negation. P implies Q, in the sense if we apply whole negation, what happen? P conjunction negation Q. For that type of statement we have to create, in the sense P doesn't change anything. So x is an integer, conjunction in the sense and, negation q in the sense x is real rational number is a q, you have to make it as a negation in the sense x is not a rational number. So if you do like this problem is over. Next question, let x be a specified number, write down the negation of the following proposition. If x is not a real number, this is your question or statement. If x is not a real number, comma, then, so before this portion we consider as a one proposition p. Next, it is not a rational number. Up to this we conclude it as a one proposition, it is q, and in the sense it is the symbol of conjunction. After that, next, not an irrational number. So in the sense up to this we conclude it as a r. So p is equal to x is a real number, q x is a rational number, or x is a irrational number. How I am taking this is p, q, r in the sense you observed here, if x is not a real number, then then in the sense it is the symbol of implies. Up to that we have one statement, that's why I am concluded it as a one proposition. Next, it is not a rational number. Next we are having and in the sense it is the symbol of conjunction. Instead of if it comes r, you have to take the distinction. So that's why in between this we conclude it as a one proposition. After and, not an irrational number, this is also one proposition. So you should write like this manner. X is not in the sense negation p, then implies is not in the sense negation q. Next, and in the sense conjunction is not in the sense negation r. So this one we have to write it later. Therefore, so before we apply negation only this two proposition. Now we have to, so for his question we have to apply the negation. For that purpose the whole thing we are going to apply the negation. For that part we consider this as a x part, up to this as a y part. So first we apply the negation to this x and y. In the sense negation p we conclude it as a x, and this whole part we conclude it as a y. X implies y, like that only you have to consider. Apply the negation. Once you apply the negation p, it comes, okay, in the sense p implies q. If you apply the negation, p conjunction negation q, like that, negation p, this implies symbol is converted into conjunction whole negation, because inside you have a value, that's why we put negation whole. So negation p conjunction, once again this applied to whole thing, negation q. So this negation conjunction is converted into disjunction, once again negation r. So double negation q is equal to q, double negation r is equal to r. In the sense negation p conjunction q disjunction r. So this is your output. For this type you have to write the sentence. In the sense, if x is not a real number and then it is not a rational number or not a irrational number. You observe here, x is not a real number and it is rational number or an irrational number. So here he removed not as well as not, because it is not q or not r, negation q or negation r, it is q r, that's why. So we did this one. Fine. The same thing I am given another one problem, just take it. Let this one, let x be a specified number, write down the negation of the following. So here I am making, if x is not an integer, then x is not a rational number. This is your assignment.